Are you thinking about moving to Boston? Well, here are 5 things that you must know before you pack all your things up and move to the city that I call home. My name's Sam RP, your favorite Boston realtor. And first off, let's talk about timing. Both the rental market and the sales market in Boston are seasonal. So finding a home in Boston is all about the when. If you are looking to rent an apartment, you're going to probably notice that you're seeing a lot of apartments that are available for September 1st. Due to the amount of students in Boston, September 1st became the sort of standard for rentals here in Boston. They basically followed the school timeline. I once read a stat that said 78% of the greater Boston rental market was on the September 1st cycle. That will give you an idea of how many people will be moving on that date. It's a lot. So be prepared and also secure that moving truck early. So when do you look for a home? Well, if you're looking for September 1st, honestly, those apartments will start to pop up as early as the winter before. I'm not kidding. Yes, students like to get a head start on things. Often they want to get their housing secured before the end of the school year. So that is just the normal now for September 1st apartments. Now, with that being said, if you're looking to move literally any other time of the year outside of September 1st, then you probably don't want to come and visit Boston to tour apartments until about 45 days before your move-in date. That is likely when you'll find the most amount of options that will probably work for you. Now, if you're looking to buy a home in Boston, that market is seasonal as well. The spring is when the most amount of homes come to the market, but it's also when the most amount of buyers are out there. You'll have more options to choose from, but it will also be a bit more competitive. Compare that to late summer or late fall when you'll have the least amount of competition, but also least amount of options to choose from. So what's more important to you? Paying a little bit more, but having a better selection to choose from, or getting yourself a deal, but with fewer options? My second thing to know, if you are going to be renting an apartment, be prepared for broker fees. It's often you, the tenant, who foots the bill for the broker's services. Now, I will come out there and say that yes, sometimes there's a landlord who's willing to pay the broker fee for you. And yes, sometimes you can just skip all the brokers entirely and go straight to the landlord with no brokers involved. But if you hire a broker like myself to help you find an apartment, be prepared to pay a fee. The fee is often equal to 1 month's rent. This will often find you paying 1 month's broker's fee, first month's rent, 1 month's security deposit, and even sometimes last month's rent, all up front before you moved in. 4 months of rent. So it's a good idea to factor all this in when you start to budget for your move. Number 3. Are you driving here with a moving truck? Well, listen up because this is an important one. Avoid driving on Sturo Drive at all costs. I know, it sounds easy, but trust me, this happens all the time. Literally, it just happened the other day. Sturo Drive has low bridges that moving trucks cannot fit under. And all the time in the news, we hear about yet another moving truck that hit one of these bridges and got stuck. Sometimes the entire truck's top gets ripped off. There's literally a verb for this. It's called being Sturoed. Don't be the next person to fall victim to this. Our fourth point, it's about parking. If your new home does not come with a parking spot, you don't necessarily have to panic. Boston offers resident permit street parking for free. You just need to apply for a resident parking permit, show proof that you live there, and you're good to go. Your permit will allow you to park for free in the neighborhood that you live in. Now, obviously, some neighborhoods are tougher than others for street parking. Anyone living in Beacon Hill or the North End can certainly confirm this, but if you don't have the luxury of a parking spot and you don't want to pay $250 to $500 a month, then this is a pretty decent option. And finally, if you're buying a home in Boston, there's a bonus. A little incentive from the state. Homeowners who occupy their house as a primary residence are eligible for a residential tax exemption, which means that you can knock off a pretty substantial amount from your annual tax bill. The amount of money will change every year. For this year, it's nearly $3,500 off your tax bill. Definitely a perk you might want to know about if you're thinking about living in Boston for a while. Do you think I missed anything important? Make sure you comment below your thoughts on what you would add to this list of things to know before you move to Boston.